We close out the LCS Spring Split, go global for the International Wildcard Invitational, and present the first ever PTL Awards. So get your passports ready, because Primetime League starts right now.
Medios with a 5-man Sejuani ultimate.
Fnatic finally win the Spring Splits.
And Team Solo Men are the 2015 North American Spring Split champions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primetime League. I am Rivington Bisson III, and manning the desk with me is none other than Joshua Jat-Leesman.
Thank you, Riven. Even though the LCS finals are over, there's still a lot happening around the world. Other regions are wrapping up their spring splits, and the international wildcard teams are in the middle of their invitational tournament. That means we've got a lot to cover, Riv, so full speed ahead.
Let's do it. Aye, aye, Captain. Let's hit it right now. We'll start things off with a look at the European finals. That's where General Yellowstar took his Fnatic squad to battle against the mythical Unicorns of Love, who were in their first LCS finals appearance. Even they were kind of shocked about being there.
Yeah, and the stage was set. What a stage it was there in Madrid. These guys...
So great.
Best walk-on intro I've ever seen, honestly. As far as esports is concerned, those guys delivered, and the games delivered as well. This dive early on in Visit Chachi set the stage for Fnatic.
Yep, Fnatic found the low-hanging fruit. They said, we can 4v1, let's go for it. Easy going for the first few minutes of the game for them.
Yeah, fast forward though, there was a lot of poke and delay from Unicorns of Love, and oh my god, another Baron steal? How many Barons could Unicorns of Love actually steal before their luck runs out?
Fast forward indeed to these plays, the one that turned a game around here for UOL, tying it up and then giving them enough of a lead to keep doing things like this.
Yeah, and honestly, after that Baron steal, it was all about the mid lane Bears. He did the majority of his team's damage when he looked at the chart at the end of the game, and it put them to a 28-minute win.
It definitely brought the variety out and made Fnatic think, what else could Unicorns of Love bring to the table? Well, it was going to be a Ziggs mid, and they made sure to give it focus to that.
Yeah, last pick Twisted Fate was a little bit curious. We weren't sure how it was going to turn out, but because of all the gank support they were able to give him, and because Reignover was so big in this game, it ended up just making Unicorns of Love look out of position again and again.
Reignover going quite big in this fight, and where it looked like Hylissang was getting the catches. Like you said, the Twisted Fate, you're able to get your own catches as well, and these fights carried on in favor of Fnatic pretty hard.
Yeah, Fnatic's coach in the back room, happy with Reignover getting a quadra kill. All coaching.
One more.
Let's be honest, this series had a lot of fighting in it, so both these teams had styles that interacted in a very bloody way. They ended up taking a lot of risks because both teams were willing to do so. Huge kill count in that second game, even more later in the series.
28-8 coming out of that one. You're going to see even more, like you said, in the later series. And Fnatic would start off here just 6.5 minutes in, a double kill to get Huni going, and he was gigantic throughout the whole series.
Yeah, this game as well. Huni, because of the early turret dives him and Reignover were able to accomplish, just continue to find kills again and again. 34 kills for Fnatic at 34 minutes, Riv.
They've almost come up to the 40 minutes of last game, but already have surpassed the kills, and Fnatic already inside the base. Fevben with a few plays from the Ahri there, as they needed to keep switching up their picks to match UOL, and they matched them quite well to bring out this game 3 in favor of Fnatic.
Well, at least they didn't get that 38th kill. That's going to cost them right there. Huni fell on the Nexus. Honestly, this game was an absolute bloodbath. Fnatic was one step ahead of the game the entire time. Unicorns of Love could never make that play for a comeback.
So what play could they make? The Sejuani is what I like to call it. Sejuani and the Ori was the way they got back into these ones.
This was huge. I feel like Power Beagle's Orianna was the key to a lot of Unicorns of Love's team comps. That's one of the reasons you saw why Sejuani ultimate ball right in the middle of all three of them to just combo them down. And yeah, Unicorns coach is happy about that one.
One happy coach deserves another happy coach if the team fights back, and UOL did so here in Game 4, making sure they pressured Fnatic. The game of the mental prowess and the physical prowess now taking effect.
And this was a particularly interesting play for Unicorns of Love because they won a fight while backing away. They were actually playing a bit of a kite disengage game. Fnatic ended up overcommitting, making a bad deficit even worse.
Sometimes you wonder how the Unicorns of Love make things work, and then you remember it's magic.
Yep. Do you believe in unicorns?
Do you believe in unicorns? Well, a lot of the fans did as they came out of Game 4 into Game 5. Who could dethrone the consecutive winners of the EU LCS title? Who could dethrone Fnatic? Could it be them?
They're in the finals every single time. Fnatic trying to get their finals victory with the completely new roster, basically. There were 9 LCS rookies in this split, now in the highest pressure situation possible for them in Europe. And Huni actually goes down early in Game 5.
Things looked like they would start off well, but they would not after that. Huni started to get so big. You take him down, it seems like he just got stronger.
Yeah, that's really what it felt like. Huni took over this game. Rookie of the split for the European LCS. Behind the calls of Yellowstar and Reignover. And look at the kill participation across the roles near the end of this game. Very high. Huni is a top laner, like always, involved in the majority of their kills. They thought it was over. The victory music was playing, and Unicorns fought him off the base.
That's right. They had to stop the beat of that drum for just 1 second, but it only took a few more pushes, a few more catches here, and Fnatic was able to seal the deal here. Still, a ton of kills throughout all of these games.
Yeah. What a perfect ending to a series like this, when the victory music actually plays. And then this fight looked a little bit close. If Power of Evil had gotten off that Orianna ultimate before he died, maybe it's a different game. But honestly, Fnatic had such a big lead by the end of it, and a well-deserved victory. The most excited team there by far.
Well-deserved, indeed.
Oh, yeah. It's a good game right there by Fnatic. Honestly, they came together throughout the split. Huni, you were saying you can't take him seriously so much of the time, but he's really good at League of Legends.
And you're just like, can he do it? And then he does these things where you can't take him seriously, and you're like, I'm still on the fence. There's this line I can't cross.
That's how he gets you.
And for now, more about that incredible series, let's bring in Trevor QuickShot. Henry, how's it going, QuickShot?
It's absolutely fantastic, Riv. Back from Madrid, Spain after eating a whole bunch of jamon and chorizo.
It looked like a lot of fun. So now looking back, what are your thoughts about the finals between Fnatic and the Unicorns of Love?
I think the obvious thing is just how exciting the series was to watch. Both of these teams were super aggressive, super in your face. We had a Varus mid, we had Udyr jungle, and it went all the way to 5 games. And I was super, super happy with how the teams played. The only question I have to ask is whether or not Fnatic's super aggressive style is going to work out on the international scene, because I personally felt that maybe with some more defensive play they could have countered it, but Fnatic are the overall Spring Split champions, and they've done it for the 4th time.
Right, as you're saying, Fnatic have won more split titles than any other LCS team. Is this roster capable of turning that success into a new dynasty?
You know, I think they probably are, Riv. I mean, they've got a really strong foundation to work off of. As you've already highlighted, that aggressive playstyle has got them to the Spring Split Finals. They play 2nd in the regular season. They'll represent Europe at the Mid-Season Invitational. And I felt that that style could have been countered more easily, but it's simply not been the case, unlike, for example, SK Gaming. So, answer to your question, yes, but we'll need to see if they can develop more tools to their arsenal.
All right, and over in Europe, you named Reignover the MVP of the series. What in particular did he do to earn that title, would you say?
Well, the most impactful thing is just how strong Reignover is during the laning phase. It doesn't matter which champion he's on, whether it is a early, mid, or late game jungler, he always seems to find an impact, and he always seems to read his opponents well. I think you got to give him so much praise for countering Kikis' Udyr. He read him like a book, he counter-jungled him and counter-ganked him so well, and if Reignover keeps that level of performance up, he can get Fnatic's lanes rolling at MSI.
Sounds good to me. Thank you for joining us again, QuickShot. And with the Summer Promotion Tournament and the Mid-Season Invitational coming up, I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon.
We definitely will, and I'm looking forward to both.
And while Fnatic, or should I say Yellowstar, earned a 4th split title, SK Gaming had to face H2K in order to decide who would take 3rd place.
Yeah, and you're always wondering in these 3rd place games whether these teams are still motivated, but because of championship points this year, it was very critical. 20 championship point difference between 3rd and 4th place, and SK being the #1 team throughout the entire regular season did not want to drop to 4th.
A little different to see them in this position, which is probably why they came out so hard in these games, and pretty strong in game 1 as well. The Kassadin pick for Fox, LeBlanc for Ryu. You know there's going to be a lot of kills.
Yeah, QuickFicio talked about his Kassadin build the entire game, but I will talk about it some more here, because Rod of Ages plus Athene's Unholy Grail with a W at max rank gives you 43% of your mana back on a kill if you hit the dude. So therefore, It's a resetting Cassidy in fights, and he goes crazy.
Sounds like a whole lot of fighting and a whole lot of kills that he is going to be grabbing here. Already pressuring Odo Omne after getting a double kill. How's a triple to boot? And they're already on to the Nexus turret. So a lot of people thought it would continue to go this way, even though SK had fallen to this position.
Yeah, and 2 bans on Forgiven, but his Caitlyn was looking lethal in that match as well. So heading into game 2, adjustments were to be made.
Yeah, he was doing well by far. And H2K would fly into these fights, trying to come out strong in their own part here in the beginning of game 2 to throw SK off.
Yeah, and you can see SK here kiting back fairly well. Janna and Orianna are a lot of shields, so unless H2K gets really clean initiations or isolates people like Hjarnan did to Fox here, they have struggling times in fights. They win that fight, but they only had a small gold lead. SK then accumulated a larger gold lead because of nice split pushing. Odo Omne tries to get another clean initiation right here.
But he gets kind of pushed out on this one. SK does a very nice job at figuring out what's going on. And since Karen bringing out the Lee Sin in this series, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, and Forgiven, once he gets an isolation onto Rek'Sai as well, can take it down. SK actually with a nice strategy here with the Vayne that ended up working out for them overall with the Baron buff as well after this kill. It's Curtains.
Curtains in it, indeed, and it just looked like SK was going to go for that 3 sweep. The mentality of the reverse sweep is never there after 2 in a row, right?
Usually not after 2-0. You know,
Usually
nice big chug of water for Forgiven there. He thinks he's got this one. Ryu, though, had other ideas on Zed.
He absolutely had other ideas. Somebody needed to step up, and Ryu went back to, I believe, 110% comfort for him.
Yeah, there was a time where Ryu was the second best Zed in the world, as known, until that Faker play happened back in the day. But the kills on Forgiven, the kills throughout this game, the fact that he was just ignoring the QSS from Lucian and killing him anyways. 18-2 is one way to walk back from a 2-0.
Absolutely ridiculous. Really seeing signs of the surge that H2K was able to produce at the end of the split now in this best-of-5 series. And especially on the 3rd game, it's impressive to see.
Yeah, all these series seemingly going all 5 games. H2K have a rough start here in the next game, down 6 kills to 1 and getting turret dove.
Turret dove all over the place. SK was not giving themselves, or giving H2K, I should say, any consideration, and it started to work out pretty well. H2K down 7-1, they wouldn't come back, right?
That was actually the last good play we saw from SK. They ended up getting caught around the map, one after another, gave up a Baron, eventually panicked to get a Baron, but then H2K collapses in for a team fight.
Yep, this is the 2nd Baron of the game that H2K tries to grab. SK is able to clean it up themselves, but still, they are not able to clean up the members of H2K, and the Baron kind of for naught.
Yeah, and once it got to late game, when SK continued to get picked off again and again, you could see the Cassidy Sivir was destroying SK. It's time to go to game 5 again.
Time to go to game 5 indeed. Probably very happy, you could say, and game 5 was going to be a barn burner. Nobody wanted to give anything up too early, but you have to fight sometime.
Beautiful play by Odo Omne there when he maneuvered himself around the Flame Chompers, and Forgiven, he doesn't have Lucian of Grace. He can't dash away from this one. Wouldn't have mattered much. He actually dodged this Yuani ult, but everyone was piling onto him.
Continue the focus, either in Champion Select, out of Champion Select. Forgiven is focused by far. Odo Omne again on the Hecarim, comes in with the home guard, and it starts to be too much for SK to handle here in game 5.
And you got to help the guy out a little bit. Woo! Hecarim got kicked into Forgiven. His Jinx was underwhelming in this game, but that's mainly because SK as a team was getting crushed. And as you said, H2K was free to target whoever they wanted. Looking good for the 3-2 backdoor sweep here.
Free to roam, free to run, and the reverse sweep is definitely in their sight here. Once again, Odo Omne drive-by horsing as he steals Dragon with this bite.
And that could have just been the icing on the cake there.
It really was.
It was such a force in this game on Hecarim, with the rest of H2K following up on his plays. Lee Sin, when it got to these team fights, was not as effective because Fencer couldn't snowball this match.
Like you were saying, from bad to worse for SK in this one. And there's the mentality of that reverse sweep, something that just starts to plague you throughout the game, and it actually came true.
Yeah, it was a long series, but that last game only took just under 27 minutes, and H2K actually take the number 3.
Absolutely ridiculous stuff. And the LCS has moved to a championship point system, as we were saying, this year to decide who heads to Worlds. So let's take a look at where things stand for the European teams now. After taking the title, Fnatic have 90 points, followed by the Unicorns of Love with 70.
And then because of that 3rd place finish, H2K comes in next with 50 points, while SK Gaming unfortunately only gets 30. Copenhagen Wolves and Gambit each grab 10 points. And remember that the team who wins the summer split will be Europe's #1 seed regardless, while the 2nd seed will be the team with the most championship points. The third seed will be decided among the 4 remaining teams with the most points in a King of the Hill style tournament at the regional qualifier, meaning every point actually does matter from the spring split.
I like it. And while the LCS spring split playoffs may be over, they are still in full swing over in China. So let's check in with Freak and Kobe as they break down the LPL.
Thank you very much, Riv, and hello once again, PTL stalwarts. I'm David Victorli. With me is the amazing Sam, Kobe Hartman-Kensler.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. I love it. We're going to check out the action over in China in the LPL. Let's start with the shockwave known as LGD. First, this 6th-seeded team had to face up against heavy favorites, 3rd seed OMG.
All right, yeah, OMG, heavy favorites going in, but as we will see, LGD, they got the Oscar. Their performance in playoffs was so much better than regular season.
We're going to see God V right here. Their team's down a kill, but Leveling's only level 3. Shockwave, the flash follow, although he didn't have flash anymore. But quick kill on Leveling. Nice play there.
Yeah, what a prediction. Oh, wait, his flash is already burned. Never mind.
It's all right. But LGD down a couple of kills here. Hardcore engage, a level 6 Kennen Callista. Yes, please.
Yes, Imp and PYL, the Callista Kennen combo. So much crowd control, it makes a Nunu gank look devastating.
And it was. Poor Uzi trying to run away. Now he's going to die as well. 3 kills in that fight. Incredibly good pickup for LGD. Let's keep it going. Imp, he's on Callista, and he's really good at this champion.
Right, so Imp Callista. This one, he just gets a chase down cool. Flashes into the turret, take a little bit of damage, but doesn't matter. This is the steamroll that is Imp's Callista, and why we see it banned against him very, very often.
34-minute win, 5 dragons part of that one. Good objective control by LGD. Good play. All right, game 2, best of 5. OMG probably still considered favorites. LGD still put on a great performance. This is ridiculous.
So, Wayless here. Godvi, the artist formerly known as Wayless, is so good in the playoffs. You can see him dealing so much damage as well as kiting back and getting crowd control off while he gets ganked. Survives with sub 100 HP and is able to get the counter kill as well on Cool. This one, not going to be so one-sided.
Bit of a missed ulti by Sejuani, but you know what? Puts the Q forward, predicts the flash, so Shockwave still hits Cool. Ludicrously good Orianna play. This guy is amazing. 5 dragons once again. 37 minutes this time. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah,
goodbye.
He's pretty fed now. Goodbye, Cool. The Orianna here from Wayless was definitely a huge, huge pick here for LGD.
And he's going to chase some kills down. They're obviously going to win that one 2-0. Really good start to the best of 5. Let's go to game 3 here. LGD. Could they really make the upset happen? Of course, you spoiled it earlier, but I'm still going for the intensity. Game 3, is it going to be LGD?
Can they do it? Can they do it? Can they do it? Oh, they caught Imp, but you know, leveling, this is a jungle Maokai. Not only did he burn his flash for that, but he also had to level up W. Not quite that optimal. However, that's, you know, good news for OMG, right?
Well, they knock around OMG. Cool, puts the ulti, but flash. Cast it into Azir. Routinely a great matchup. Looks like Godv could play more than just Orianna here. Good kill.
Yeah, the Azir constantly getting banned away from Cool, but when he finally gets to pick it up, has to play it versus Kassadin. That's rough. Here we go. Some team fighting from LGD.
Yeah, and they were down 1,000 gold coming into this fight, but guess what? Imp got Callista, and that's a pretty damn good engage. And goodbye, Hurricane Callista. A little bit of damage there. Out goes all of OMG.
Yes, Callista plus Nautilus. Also ridiculous amounts of crowd control and re-engage there for LGD. Once again, way less, this time on Kassadin. So much chase potential, and he went off once again.
Final push on this one, or part of one anyway, 28.5 minutes. On to Nexus turrets for this one. Hard dive in, 28 minutes only, and Azir already blows up. More kills to come through. LGD pretty far ahead at this point.
Yeah, what a dominating performance here. LGD with the quote-unquote upset over OMG, taking out the Chinese-only superstar team.
So, incredible game here. Let's check out the next opponent. 2nd seed, Snake. Pacey Time said these guys are going to be in the finals. LGD trying to make that not happen.
All right, so we're going to start off in the top lane. Flandre is the target. Here comes the roaming squad of TBQ and PYL.
Unfortunately, the kill goes to the support, but you know, a kill is a good kill all the same.
Hey, he's the leader. He deserves the first.
This is a sick hop. Gets away from Acorn, but TBQ just buys so much time. This flash really means nothing from Flandre.
Yeah, kind of flashed to the other side of Absolute Zero. Still gets tagged by it, and he's going to go down once again.
All right, so still a very close game, though. 6,000 gold lead by LGD, only 2 kills apart. Let's go for hard engage, and Graves, bit of damage.
Yeah, and let's watch how Wayless gets knocked in, Zhonya's, and he's going to be able to re-engage and go on with the chase. Acorn just running amok inside the entire team of Snake. No one can take him down. pretty big fan of that TP Smite there for Acorn on the Hecarim this time.
It was a really good job, a huge team fight for them, and that is game 1. LGD 4-0 in the playoffs so far. Let's go into game 2 against OMG after this one. See if they can keep this streak going, that run towards the playoffs.
Yeah, number 3 seed down, number 2 seed almost down. See if they can finish it off here. Imp, he's got something to say about it. This time, not on Callista, but pretty strong performance on Jinx.
Yeah, thankfully for Snake, at least a counter kill as Beast comes down, but you know what? Still a pretty rough game. Onto the Baron attempt they go, and you're gonna bait in Snake. Crystal in a bad spot.
All right, so Jinx with Blood Boil on her.
Yeah,
you can hop around as much as you want. Imp will just auto-attack you in the face.
Miniguns greater than spears, apparently. Poor Crystal running away, and goodbye. There's a rocket.
Imp's gonna chase on further in. Can he continue? Negative.
But you know what? Knocking to the base pretty darn good as well. TBQ forced to run, low health, but a Blood Bolt Imp can still kill Baka, can still chase down into Flandre. It's close. Gets him. Ella. Nope. Nope. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Imp's going to do all the work here.
All right. That's going to be Inhibitor as well. And they are able to clean up Snake.
2-0 so far. Yeah, one more to go, I believe. Game 3 comes in. Looking for a spot in the playoffs. Baka goes over to Rise, but Godfrey gets his Orianna again. That's a kill.
By the way, this is after a poor start for LGD. They gave over first blood with a messed up invade over to the Draven, but
they're down 2,000 gold, and they're just like still winning fights.
Godby, he gets a solo kill on the mid laner when they're down already. Then jungler intervention comes, he gets another kill. This game was actually pretty much Godby carrying the entire team. This is team fight presence as well from him. It's not just laning phase.
The Nautilus Orianna just crushes the back line entirely. You got a couple of guys squeak out with barely any health left. TBQ goes back in just to flash back away because Pix won't kill him, which means God needs to pick it up.
And that's going to be the Quadra for Godby. Everybody getting out with such small slivers of HP. Really, really well-managed team fight there. And that's the end.
Crystal shatters thanks to a great shockwave. So 6-0 playoff run. That's pretty sweet. Their opponents were going to be the winners of the other semifinal matchup, of course. That was going to be Edward Gaming #1 against Invictus #5. EDG had a very close quarterfinal. Invictus looked pretty good.
Yeah, but this time around, once again, they have Pawn, and Pawn goes to work. This is after he already got a solo kill as well. So Koro comes down. A lot of help from Koro actually roaming down to even up the mid lane, or actually turn it in favor of Pawn.
2 levels up, flashes over. Hey, where's my team? There's my team. Hi, bye.
Oh, come on, he's back again.
Rookie mistake, didn't expect the mid laner. Top
Rookie shouting, Flandre, keep control of this horse. He keeps invading my lane.
But the horse is amazing, and look at that. Koro's going to try to actually backdoor a bit of this Nexus here. He's got some minions. There's supers there as well, but he's just buying time for his team to come in and up close out the game.
This was actually a really smart play by the entire team. They had him teleport down while IG were shoving up the mid lane. He draws attention from IG back to their own base, and the rest of EDG are able to pick up kills while people are trying to get back to deal with Koro once again.
That's true. That final push was a 5v3 with a top laner 80 carry already dead. So great play, Edward Gaming. Here we go. Game 2. Looking to move to the finals. Zatai in a pretty bad spot. Good job.
Yeah, Zatai, he had a pretty rough time this game. Koro, that's just the beginning.
It is just the beginning. Clear love. Hi. Hell. Okay, nice flash. Sure. Okay, we'll flash in anyway. Shockwave doesn't mean enough because Riftwalk, and Pawn gets himself a kill on Kassadin.
Yeah, Koro's been fairly strong, but really, Pawn with a Kassadin calls over Clear Love. Hey, I've got a Sheen. It's time to carry this game.
And Cacao, poor Cacao getting chunked out, takes a Nautilus ult, just dies to Urgot. Deft is in a pretty happy place getting his Urgot in this series. Looks at, oh look, another Sejuani. More bacon for the team, swap him in, why not? Knock back the enemy team, just so much CC, so much follow-up for Pawn as well.
Yeah, Pawn gonna be able to re-engage here as well, gets multiple combos off, and they can chase down IG in their own jungle.
Man, that is just very rough stuff. 14-6 in kills, 25-minute surrender by Invictus, down 7,000 gold. So, all right, that's 2 in the bag. 1 more to go, and Edward Gaming make a 3-0 sweep and head into the finals. See if they can do it here.
Yeah, they're a little bit down after that, you can see in the player cams. Here, though, pretty good kill for IG. You know, we got another pretty good start. Couple of kills, take down Pawn on that legendary Fizz, but will it be enough? Doesn't look like it.
Wind Wall comes out with a damage output, just going to be enough. Zatai can't really stay behind the wind wall enough, and the cleanup shots coming through. Rek'Sai gets 1, keep it going. Yasuo ult only gets on the Deft, but Deft survives the encounter.
Yeah, look at Deft here, the Maokai Yasuo combo. AD carries, not a very big fan of that, but I've saved my summoner spells for this situation. He gets out alive. He's able to re-engage after the initial part of the fight as well. Deft, another little bit of a misstep here, jumps into the bush, but Mako, he's ready. He's able to get him out of trouble with the Janna, with the Mikhail's active.
Yeah, there's a ton of heals and shields keep coming out, and Deft just cannot be chunked down by just a bruiser tank top laner like Maokai there. So easy for Deft to keep putting damage down. Meanwhile, Pawn Clearlove doing a whole bunch of work in the back line. Rookie, good. Okay, so he flashed, but goodbye.
All right, EDG gonna pick up some extra kills, and once they're inside the base at this point, 9-2, looks like they want to finish it off. They've got Baron buff. Congratulations, EDG.
Yeah, so 3-0 sweeps for both these teams in the semis. Heading in here, Edward Gaming, LGD. What are your thoughts on the matchup?
I think it's actually going to be kind of close. You know, LGD, they've compounded so many small improvements over the course of this year. They're looking much better than ever. They control side waves really well, they roam really well, and each player has definitely been stepping up for them. Meanwhile, EDG, of course, they still do have to be my favorite here. The team has been so dominant in China over the entire year, and they've incorporated their Koreans really well into the rest of the team. I just think EDG definitely still have the edge, even though there's questions about Pawn. Is he going to play? You know, is the sickness going to affect him? I think he will play, and I think that they'll be able to pull this out.
Okay, well, you talked about incorporating the Koreans well into the team. We actually have some fun player stories. The ex-Samsung Blue 80 carry now on Edward Gaming Def, the ex-Samsung White 80 carry, Imp here on LGD. How do you feel about these two 80 carries facing off?
How do I feel about these two 80 carries facing off? Well, Freak, you're an 80 carry main,
yeah.
And you know, if you're an 80 carry main in any region in the world, you watch this matchup because these two guys are two of the top 80 carries in the world. I think there's a pretty strong case to even make for Deft being the best 80 carry in the world right now, just because the meta so heavily revolves around team fights, and this guy is the master at squeezing every ounce of DPS out of an 80 carry during a team fight. Whereas Imp, if there's one small criticism that I have for Imp lately, he's been performing really, really well in the playoffs. When he's on an 80 carry that's not Kalista, that doesn't have infinite dashes, sometimes he still positions a little bit too aggressively close to the front line, causing him to either have to flash or dash back. You know, to his credit, he always dodges the CC and flashes back, but you lose a small amount of DPS there. Sure. And just that little difference, I think I'm going to give the edge to Deft. I would want him on my team.
Yeah, I would love to have Deft on my team, but that would have to bench myself, so I don't know if I'd go for that one. Either way, another fun matchup, the mid lane fight here. You said you think Pawn's going to play, so Pawn versus God V, how's that matchup going to go?
Right, so if Pawn does not play, then I actually think that LGD can pull off the upset here. But I do think Pawn's going to play, and this guy, again, another top mid laner of the world. I think he's top at his position in the world. Maybe not the very best, but Pawn has been amazing for this team. Picking up solo kills, he works with Clearlove really well. He also roams for the team fairly well. So enough good things about Pawn. This guy, Godv, the artist formerly known as Wayless. We've been oozing over him in the replays, but this guy on Orianna and Kassadin as well has been just dominating for LGD. He's been a huge carry for the team, and I wasn't a very big fan of him last year, you know, buying the Spirit Stone, farming the jungle as much. I'm a little bit selfish there as a jungler, but I am a fan of his new interesting buy, the Alacrity upgrade pretty early on for his mid laners. He actually uses it to roam around fairly quickly, and also it allows him to position really aggressively in team fights, and he also gets off a lot of cooldown rotations and deals a lot of damage for the team. So I think that Wayless is definitely no slouch, and he's going to be a pretty big factor for LGD as well.
Well, it's going to be a very fun matchup to watch either way. Thank you very much, Kobe. The guys, remember to stay awake all weekend in order to catch those matches. Also, we have the promotion tournament going on in North America and Europe, going to be great as well. Let's send it back over to Riven Jat to look at the North American finals.
Shia, guys. And we are going to be heading straight into the NA Championship Series between first place Team Solo Mid and second place Cloud9. Everybody was waiting for this rivalry to go down, and it came to be at the end of the spring split.
4 split finals in a row right here. And honestly, TSM had a lead in game 1 until Medios.
Until Medios, indeed, as well. Credit to Lustboy with that flash out of the play to save the rest of his team, but 4-man ultimate leads to a 5-man ultimate.
Yeah, what's next? A 6-man ultimate? Medios, honestly, he just did so much in this game. flashing in with his Q, just comboing skills together that people were not expecting. Completely turned this game on its head. TSM had out 1v2'd Cloud9 in the early game, and it really feels like those Medius ultimates carried Cloud9.
If there were any more, those would have been the highlights we saw in this game, but there were not. So game one quickly and in a strong fashion going to Cloud9. People were wondering, how could TSM come back from this?
Yeah, well, again in game two, Cloud9 pulled back after a good early game from TSM, but this time the late game from Bjergsen's Kog'Maw was something else.
Bjergsen's Kog'Maw, indeed. Yeah, you said that, bringing it out here in the finals, throwing loogies left and right and just getting himself kills wherever he wanted. Look at this. Oh, over the shoulder. Got Lemon. Don't worry about it.
And then he also kills the guy right in front of his face. Meanwhile, Sneaky tries to dodge everything. He pretty much does. Honestly, watch this. He dodges.
Right on the ground.
Aw, man. Bjergsen.
There's only so much you can do. Cloud9 was doing a very good job at kiting these fights, but in the end, too strong from Bjergsen. Just can't touch him on the back line. Great control from the Kennen pick on Lustboy, and Cloud9 found themselves on the back foot in game two.
Yeah, that was the big underrated part about this team composition, because we marveled at Bjergsen's damage dealt to champions, but we didn't mention necessarily how much peel they had for him and how much prevention they had from people to get on top of him.
And going into game three now, 1-1. Focus would be on Bjergsen in the mid lane, but teleports from Dyrus were on point this series, mainly here in game three.
High also giving up first blood in 3 out of 4 games. Unfortunate there, because it looked like a good idea for Medios to gank that lane. got stronger though, just straight up in that fight, and the Dyrus TP really mattered.
Dyrus TP indeed, buying home guards as he was healing up there on the base to come back in, flying through. Another kill solidified onto high, and TSM would really start to make this a difficult series. 6-1 already here, 23 minutes.
Pretty one-sided game 3, and this put Cloud9 one game away from not having a chance of going to MSI or winning the split championship again. High doesn't look that happy after the third game.
Yeah, going into the next one, the shot caller would definitely need to step up for the team, and they were looking to shut down the shot caller immediately by the side of TSM.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying desperately to keep him alive right here, but Dyrus once again finds his way through. Even though High was on his favorite and most successful champion, Zed, there, he's still getting shut down by that TSM team.
And Bjergsen going hard, just nom 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 right over the wall. I don't think High had a chance to figure out what happened.
That is when you knew it was over.
Yeah, you know you can't come back from situations like that unless a miracle happens. The Magical of Unicorns was not with Cloud9 this day. They weren't able to try and peel off the Nexus, and TSM closed the last game here, 31 minutes.
Yeah, by the way, Wild Turtles also fed on Callista. That's something that was so devastating about this series from Cloud9's perspective, is Bjergsen was carrying the games, but even if they killed Bjergsen, Wild Turtle was always there as a farmed player.
Wild Turtle and quadra kills at the end of games to win like a big series.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know, something about
Happened last year too.
Yeah, exactly. And with that victory, Team Solo Mid has the most split championship titles than any other North American team. It doesn't suck.
Yeah, and also in these playoffs, they're the only team that went 3-1 in the semifinals and then a 3-1 in the finals series as well. Everyone else was 3-2, so Cloud9 was kind of that much better than the other teams in North America throughout this playoffs.
Right.
And it also means they won 2 splits in a row, which, if you look at the domination from Cloud9, was a hard thing to overcome. I definitely feel like this kind of puts TSM not only as the best team this split, but the best team in the last year of North American play.
I can't wait to see how many teams continue to get better, because now that teams are being able to stop Cloud9 and kind of rise in the ranks as well, they start to be able to challenge Team Solo Mid at the top of that list. However, with all that turmoil that teams face in the middle of the season with changes and whatnot, well, TSM and Cloud9 don't, that could still be their problem.
Yeah, TSM looks like they finally settled in on a roster, though. This one seems real solid for them.
Absolutely. And while that championship was decided in just 4 games, Spark flew between the 4th place Impulse and 6th place Liquid, as the 2 teams battled it out in a series that did go the full 5.
Crazy that Team Liquid ended 6th in the regular season, but now has a chance to break the curse and actually finish 3rd. They've had so many better regular seasons, but this could end up being their best playoff finish ever.
Would they be able to do it, almost the same matchup we saw last year? Liquid would try to start this one off early, but Impact, he had other things in mind, even though he was fighting in a full party here.
Yeah, not even that many levels on Gnar, but he had the power and the confidence to just blow somebody up right there. Impact became a big force this game.
Definitely honing in that boomerang skill. He hadn't played Gnar for a little bit. Brought it out in the semis, but it wasn't as good. He definitely showed so well in these games.
Yeah, some big desperation plays came out from IL Dominate this game. Something that he couldn't do the entire series if they wanted the chance to win. But this one was over. Great Orianna play, great Gnar play from Team Impulse.
Exactly what I was going to say. Those two champions really helping to solidify the control and composition that brought game 1 tip victory. Going into game 2, they would go straight for Piglet in that top lane and get Adrian some kills and Apollo. Not something they usually focus on.
Yeah, a Twitch pick coming out for Team Liquid there. Very unexpected in this split playoffs right here. But somehow IL Dominate hit level 6 before Rush was. That means Big Ice bullet to the face.
Yeah, they had their own unexpected plays that were expected for Team Impulse. They are getting their kills. Dive by Dominate. That's what I like to call that one. New fragrance.
Yeah, man. The Sejuani ultimates layered with Quas's Rumble ultimates were the turning factor in this game. There's one down by Dragon, and that play in particular really turned the game around for Team Liquid.
Yep, and even though we saw Piglet on Corki a little bit later, Phoenix was bringing out some great kills. Well, he wasn't missing a few of those skill shots. Definitely helping out from the mid lane.
Gotta count 1, 2.5 for Zhonya's. Here, another thing we've seen success with in the past. Not today, though.
Not today, indeed. They saw how strong that Azir was against CLG. TIP wasn't going to let that happen this time.
Yeah, Xiao's cast-in was just all over Phoenix, as well as the rest of Team Impulse. That was a support and jungler kill. Actually, it was just not Phoenix's day. Again, jumped on.
Finding Phoenix every time they can. Not everybody's here, though, right? You can get the fight in. Impact's not here. Nope, he teleports in and flies into the back line. Whee!
Yeah, big-time split-pushing Shyvana. Impact with huge games here in this series. Game 1 was huge. Game 3 as well here was very large, I think.
Yeah.
Got that tone right.
Big guy. They're going to be able to clean that one up. This would keep the series going. Liquid, consuming some liquid. The power that gets them stronger.
Absolutely. By the way, Xiao had 404 CS on Cast in that game by the end of it. That's a lot of CS for Caston. This time, though, on the block, press Ignite.
Press Ignite, indeed. It would have taken down Phoenix, but he picks up first blood. That's really some of the first action we saw between those two. And Phoenix, he would continue that aggression as soon as Xiao uses that double distortion.
Yeah, Xiao may still think the farm was worth it for those double distortion, but I should hope not. Phoenix also landed some impeccable charms this game on Ahri to set up some of those kills on Xiao. And then Dominate, as he screamed, he got it again.
He got it again, and that's never what you want to hear if you are the enemy team. Impulse falls left and right after this fight, and Liquid moves on with confidence. They take down the Nexus 17-7, one of the better games here they had in the series, and that's exactly what they wanted heading into Game 5 with a momentum.
Third chance for Curse to break the curse in a best-of-5 here. Last year, the third-place game in Summer Split, the best-of-5 they had against Cloud9, and now this game against Team Impulse.
And when they had the chances, they were bloodthirsty. You can see that in the eyes of Phoenix here as it scrolls down. He's able to pick up Impact, but he doesn't stop there. Level 13, turret dive time.
This guy really wanted the trade kills on Xiao. He didn't even need the rocket to land, so it was a very easy kill for him to pick up for his life because the 2 kills on Corki, he thought he was going to be able to hit his mid-game power spike, and he actually did in this one.
Yeah, he actually did indeed. Here, Liquid pushing a little bit harder. The Righteous Glory into Apollo. I don't even think he knows what happened.
Doesn't even give him a chance. The auto attack route into the ultimate knockout. Piglet gets the kill on a silver platter from X Special.
The synergy of Piglet and the team came around at just the right time for these guys here, coming towards the 3rd, 4th place match, and they were able to start cleaning up the team fights. The cooperation and the calls were there.
And Team Liquid gets the other team to make desperation plays right there. Since they had the Baron, Impulse didn't want to give up the Dragon, and that led to the Ace, which ultimately led to the series.
The series, indeed. Very, very happy Dominate. He has known the struggles.
Oh, man. It must feel so good for that team to finish 3rd right there. It's a whole new season. It's a whole new team. And honestly, getting that many championship points heading in to the next split gives them a nice chance to get either good seeding for Worlds or in that final tournament.
Here's only looking up. See where they can go from here. Now let's take a quick look at the championship points for the North American teams. Coming in at 90 points is Team Solo Mid, with Cloud9 at 70 points.
And that third place finish gives Team Liquid 50 points, Impulse 30 points, and CLG and Gravity both get 10 for making the playoffs.
That's right. And you've heard what we had to say about exciting series that we've been seeing. But now let's plug into the team comms and check out what pros were saying during this week's mic check.
All right, guys, last game. Nothing too much to say. Let's do it or not. Curse or cursed?
Shut up, Peter.
Finally, Rush Campbell's down.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
now we finally win.
Speak up, guys. The last game. Focus, patient, and enjoy.
Let's do this.
All right. Good luck, guys.
All right, let's do this. Let's win.
We're going. Corky is coming. Shall we show?
Coming.
Yeah, we can.
We can go mid. We can go mid.
Push bottom. They're going mid. Okay, let's push.
I'm left.
Coming.
I'm going.
Okay, keep going.
I'm going too.
I can dub him.
We're going mid. Okay.
I am behind.
He's going. Okay. Nice. We're pushing mid.
myself.
Okay. I'm on him. We're pushing mid.
Nice.
I got double kill. Back.
Okay.
I am here.
Back.
I need help.
I'm gonna ult here.
I think shoot back. Shoot back.
Just leave me.
Back. Give me that. I get a rest cap. Shut up.
I can go.
I can go.
We have a TP.
Careful. No top.
Okay, we're fighting.
Okay.
TP. Okay, coming.
Coming too.
Run back. Head back.
High back.
I'm low.
Back.
Okay.
No flash.
Going on Janna.
We're trying back out. Okay, we're low.
I'm getting Janna.
Okay. Nice.
Can you Baron?
No, JM chicks.
No, take the door.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
6 on flash.
We can end. Go mid.
Nice.
The curse is breaking, baby! We die!
Go bottom.
Break the curse, man!
Looks like the curse is broken. You know what I love more than curses being broken? It's international tournaments. So now we're going to head over to Turkey, where the International Wildcard Invitational kicked off on Tuesday with a spot in the mid-season invitational up for grabs. And here, to help me with all that, I'd like to welcome Riot's Turkish esports coordinator, Baha, to Primetime League. How you doing, Baha?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us here today. So I want to jump right into it. What is this tournament all about, and how are the teams competing, and who are they?
All right, so we have 7 teams from 7 regions representing their regions based on their performance in their seasonal finals. And as you mentioned, they're fighting for the MSI spot. And we've been playing the first day of round-robin games, and we're in the second one today. So we have 2 more days going forward, which is going to be the last day of round-robin. If you have any tiebreakers, we'll be playing them tomorrow. And semis are coming up on Friday, and we'll end up with the finals on Saturday.
So you talked about the round robin. You guys are done with day 1, well through day 2, might have tiebreakers tomorrow. How's it been going for you guys on production's end?
Well, it's been a rough schedule. We start at nighttime, close to nighttime, so 5 p.m. for Turkey, and go up till about 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. based on how many technical issues we have. But this also helps other regions get more viewing time of their teams, and their fans kind of get to see how their favorite teams are doing.
And you talked about fans having favorite teams. Who are the favorites coming into this, and has that held up?
I think coming into this, Turkey and Brazil were the favorites. So Beşiktaş and Brazil, INTZ, sorry, were the favorites. But as we played the first day games and the games today, it looks like Southeast Asia, represented by Bangkok Titans, were stomping up until they faced INTZ today. So now they're tied for the top spot with a 3-1 score. So it looks like we're moving on to a possible Southeast Asia versus Brazil final.
Ooh. All right, I'm going to have to keep you to that. Thank you for your time, Baha. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone. The International Wildcard Invitational has one more day of round-robin games tomorrow before moving on to the semifinals and finals this Friday and Saturday. So make sure to keep watching and find out which team will be heading to Tallahassee, Florida for the MSI. And I've been warned about doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's send it over to Freak as he gets down with your tweets.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Warned? More like rewarded, guys. More me on the screen. You're all welcome. Now, you're asking yourself, what did you do to deserve this? Well, you were awesome and you watched PTL. What more could you ever ask for? Now, let's talk some more about how awesome you guys are. Last week, we took to Twitter and gave you guys a question designed to get you all into the Hall of Fame, and that was who would be the most played champion in each of the 5 roles across the 4 remaining Premier Playoff regions. Now, the answer was top lane Maokai, jungle Gragas, mid lane Kassadin, AD carry Sivir, and at support, a tie between Janna and Nautilus. Unfortunately, I'm the bearer of bad news today, as none of you got it right. I also got it wrong, but only because I wanted to make sure that we were all together in this, camaraderie. I didn't want to be the only one to get it right. That'd just be weird. You'd think there was like collusion or something. But we do have honorable mentions. A few of you guys got 4 of the 5 champions correctly. At 2D Doc, at MAX, and at Gustavo Doid had 4 of the 5 correct. That is better than anyone else did. So massive props to you guys for getting 80% of the answer correct. Hey, B- ain't bad, right? Now, we have a new question for you guys this week. It focuses on the 2 teams that will be joining the Midseason Invitational. With that in mind, tell us which team will win the International Wildcard Invitational, and for a shot in the PTL Hall of Fame, tell us who's going to win the LPL Finals, plus how many total kills will be in that LPL Best of 5. Now, for example, my answer is Brazil's Ints for the IWCI, and Edward Gaming went to the LPL with 94 total kills in that series. We want to know what you guys think, though, so send your guessifications to @LOL Esports along with the hashtag PTL, and we will reveal the winners and Hall of Famers in our next episode. So while you guys are busy tweeting your answers, I'm going to jump ship, and Riv and Jat are going to set course for Korea.
Thank you very much, Freak, although I'm pretty sure that's a violation of maritime law. At any rate, let's check out the scene in the LCK playoffs. That's where 3rd place CJ Antis took on 4th place Jin Air Green Wings in round 1.
Yeah, these guys split their regular season series 2-0 and then 2-0 on the other side.
Heck yeah.
With CJ Antis looking pretty good coming into these playoffs and Jin Air in a slump.
Yeah, the slump definitely continued to play out for them here. You could see Trace a little off his game there for first blood. A simple push there, but it actually cost 2 turrets. And again, CJ just getting these simple picks. They were saying, let's not have it happen again, Jin Air.
Yeah.
Oops, it happened again.
This game was mainly about Space and Mad Life dominating. They found a lot of nice dark bindings. Mad Life was completely on point. And honestly, Jin Air didn't know how to initiate team fights, even though they had the Sejuani on their team.
They were able to just crush through. You saw Pilot getting caught there and then completely hit up by Shy. A lot more aggressive champions for him ever since we saw him at that Worlds with Zubu.
Yeah, what a slaughter this was. Shy has had a long and arduous journey to try and make it back to the glory days of the Season 2 World Championship Finals.
We'll see where they can go from there. Coming in now to Game 2, Shy would still continue to go after Chase. He did not actually have that great of a series because they made sure to focus him.
Yeah, well, honestly, Jin Air just wasn't creating pressure around the map. Their old style was very poke-oriented, disengage, but they weren't winning with that style, so they decided to pick things that could engage, and they just weren't finding fights. CJ always one step ahead of them, finding the right fights.
Just look at getting bounced around, popped around. The crowd control must have been just, you want to pull your hair out because all they're doing is running, and like you said, Jag couldn't find the fights.
What a nice flash there by Space at the end of that fight to jump over the zap and finish off the kill. But you can see again here, a very low kill game, but a huge goal lead for CJ because Jin Air was just giving up all the objectives to CJ.
Crazy, crazy damage. Pilot couldn't even do much about that. Completely zeroed out by the Ziggs ultimate as CJ pushes through. The 2-0s these teams gave each other throughout the season was not reminiscent here. CJ was on top of their game.
Yeah, very on pace to be a 3-0. Jin Air one last chance to try and recapture some of their glory, and honestly, CJ was playing great throughout this series.
Here we see Ambition flying through on this one to make sure they can clean up some early kills. First blood in Game 3, and Mad Life says, thank you very much.
Yeah, great Mad Life game here on Thresh. Hook after hook after hook. And to 2v2 a lane against an Urgot is asking for trouble, especially when the Gragas games from Ambition came in again and again. So much of this game was Mad Life setting up plays for Ambition or the other way around.
Still with the hooks left and right, we saw Mad Life start off that play and their ability to kite this and then turn it around and say, guess what? this is our fight is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and guess what? Another beautiful death sentence for Mad Life. 5 men up here in the bottom lane. CJ Entis just starts running through Jin Air.
That would equal a few turrets for them, and then as we jump forward to 32 minutes, a lot more turrets have gone down by the hands of CJ Entis, and it only took one more fight here. They knew they had the power. The Mega Inferno Bomb completely cuts through Jin Air Greenway.
What a nice combo there, Shyvana jumping in on top of his Ziggs bomb for ultimate destruction. And honestly, CJ move on in the playoffs here decisively.
Decisively indeed. Like I was saying, the 2-0s, I think everybody expected a lot better of a game from both teams than that, but CJ Entis was the one to show up.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at where the game is moving, with all the tanks and initiation being a key, and you look at what Jin Air succeeded with during the regular season, the results make a little bit more sense. It does fit CJ very well, though, this current patch. And the playoffs, 2 more teams to take down if they want to win it.
We'll see who can keep evolving in that situation. For a closer look at the Korean playoffs, let's actually send it over to Professor Kobe, who has OGN's Chobra standing by.
Thanks, guys. And Chobra, thank you for joining us. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you, Kobe?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So with the first round down, or with 1 round down and 2 more to go, let's check out the LCK bracket. CJ took down Jin Air, which means that they will move on to face SKT this Friday, and the winner of that series will face the GE Tigers on May 2nd. Now, Chobra, you have any idea who that's going to be, and what are your reasons for giving them the edge?
You know, CJ has been looking, again, better and better throughout the season. Obviously, they've performed on a high going into Katowice at Intel Extreme Masters. And then they had a little bit of a dip, but then they rose back again. They secured their spot going into the second round. I still give the edge to SKT T1, though. I just think that SKT still is a more complete team. I think they've regathered their footing back, during their prime time. And also some of the roster changes that they've had, or some of the things they've tested out, rather, in terms of who plays when and what picks they've used, I think really working out for them.
All right. Well, no matter how complete the team is, if Faker's playing, people are always going to look at the mid lane. So how do you think Faker is going to match up versus Coco?
I really think that most people have a good reason, and I agree, for calling Faker still one of, if not the best players in the world, mechanically and also just overall game knowledge-wise. I think that Faker still has one of the broader understandings of the game and his individual matchups in the lane. On the flip side, what's interesting is Coco, during his matchup with the Jin Air Green Wings, has been playing a champion pool much more similar to Easy Hoon on SKT T1, playing these champions that have to farm a little more and then wait for those big team fights, or have those kind of poke wars going into the late game. You know, that might be a way to avoid Faker's style, because Faker's one who loves to play, play duels because he can win them most of the time. So that's a little interesting. However, I mean, Faker's not a stranger to playing against these passive mid laners. I mean, quite frankly, he's a teammate with Easy, and I'm sure he gets a lot of practice in those matchups. So I'm still going to give the edge to Faker right there. All
right. So a follow-up question. I'm a huge fan of the jungle, as you know, and Tom, a huge fan of Tom as well, because this guy, the Udyr main, I think is going to do really well in the Cinderhulk jungle. How do you think the junglers will affect that mid lane?
I really think that SKT, the management as a whole, had a huge role in waiting to play Tom until this meta shift. We all kind of heard that Tom was a Udyr main, and then the jungle completely shifted into the Cinderhulk meta. And bam, Tom comes in, he's playing Sejuani. Of course, we all know about his Udyr, and he has no fear, but at the same time, it's really, he has merit for that, because he doesn't miss his skill shots. He knows his timings of when to go in, and he also knows kind of when to back off if he really needs to. Although, in his games, we've seen pretty much he never really has to, because he's pretty good at initiating team fights. I think what this really means is that it helps round out the matchup for SKT a lot better than if Bengi plays against CJ, because CJ, again, time and time again, has always been a team fight team. I mean, that's just their style. They rely on their teamwork. They rely on their experience and expertise in late game knowledge to beat out the other teams, and even if their opponents are technically stronger. In comes Tom. He's not going to be as passive as Bengi. It doesn't look like he waits as much on maybe Faker or someone else's commands. I think he's really going to shut down Ambition and Shy's efforts to try to manipulate something in the late game team fights.
Yeah, all right. I'm definitely looking forward to see more of Tom as well. Chobra, as always, thank you for joining us. And we'll check in with you right after the Korean finals for a wrap-up.
Sounds good.
All right, now we're going to send it over to Freak, who has some of the most prestigious awards across all of League of Legends to hand out.
Thank you very much, Kobe. And that's right, it is time for the inaugural edition of the Primetime League Awards. Now, these awards are not argued about in committees or tallied up by secret ballots and a paddle of bureaucratic red tape. No, instead, these awards are powered by the people who love, live, and breathe League of Legends. That means we're relying on you guys, the viewers who fuel this show. So after we announce each of the categories and the nominees, tweet your hashtag answers to us at LOL Esports. We will unveil the winners on the next episode of Primetime League. Without further ado, let's get to the nominees. Our first award is for the best new LCS dank meme. Let's check out the nominees in a category where going viral isn't a bad thing.
The nominees for best new LCS meme are from SK Gaming's Forgiven, By Far.
By Far. By Far.
From Team Solo Mid's Lust Boy, Lucina. And from PTL, Hot Pink GG.
Send your vote to at LOL Esports by using either hashtag By Far, hashtag Lustsina, or hashtag HotPinkGG. Our next category shows that the pro players aren't just skilled gamesmiths who can rock the mouse and keyboard. This award also proves that these dapper dudes can also own the runway at any fashion show. Let's check out the nominees for the best dressed team.
The nominees for best dressed team are from Korea's LCK, the GE Tigers. From the European LCS, the Unicorns of Love. And from China's LPL, GAMT.
To vote in this category, send a tweet to at LOL Esports with hashtag Tigers, hashtag Unicorns, or hashtag GAMT, along with hashtag PTL. Okay, so having coaches on stage for the first time has been a great addition to the LCS. One of our favorite moments has been their handshakes, or the lack thereof. Here are the nominees.
The nominees for Best LCS Coach Handshake are a very confused Scarra from Counter Logic Gaming, the fleet feet of Dignitas' Malixia, and the duo shake from Gambit's Leviathan and Sheepy.
So send a tweet to at LOL Esports with the hashtag Scarra, hashtag Malixia, or hashtag Leviasheep, along with the hashtag PTL. All right, not all of our players are bloodthirsty killers. Let's reveal the nominees for the most huggable pro player.
The nominees for most huggable pro are from Fnatic, top laner Huni, Team Impulse's mid laner, Zhao Zhao, and the Yowie Flash Wolves top laner, Steak.
So to vote on the player you'd most like to squeeze, send a tweet to at LOL Esports with hashtag HugHuni, hashtag HugXWX, or hashtag HugSteak, and make sure to include hashtag PTL. We will tally everything up and name the winners on our mid-season invitational episode of PTL that airs Wednesday, May 6th. Remember to vote early and eagerly accept bribes. Now, while the spring split is nearly over, we need to figure out which teams will be joining the summer split. So I'm going to be checking in with Zyrene and QuickShot for a look at the summer promotion tournaments.
Thanks for making that long journey to join me here, Freak.
Not a problem.
And you too, QuickShot, as we take a look at the teams who will be battling for those last two spots in both North America and Europe.
And of course, remember that this year, the team who finished 10th is going to be automatically replaced by the first place challenger team. And of course, 8th and 9th place LCS teams will battle the 2nd and 3rd seeds for a spot in the LCS as well.
Yeah, and QuickShot, since you're here with us, let's start with the European promotion tournament.
Yeah, well, basically with what Freak just laid down, Mecha Makers are out as they placed 10th, and Origin have replaced them for winning the Spring Challenger Series. The 8th place Roccat actually elected to play the 2nd seed Challenger team, Copenhagen Wolves Academy, after seeing how much they struggled on LAN. So we'll need to see who's going to show up and lock down one of those LCS spots. And finally, that means Giants Gaming will once again be doing battle with Reason Gaming. And that's a team that Giants 3-0'd twice during the expansion tournament to qualify for the LCS this year. So we'll actually be able to see whether the LCS or the Challenger Series helped which team grow more.
And here in North America, after only dropping a single match in the regular season, Enemy Esports will be coming in to replace the 10th place Team Coast. And meanwhile, 9th place Team Dignitas will face Team Fusion, and 8th place Winter Fox takes on TDK, which might be problematic for Winter Fox, who picked TDK. Now they have a new substitute mid laner.
Exactly. So TDK's old mid laner, Kyle, is actually stepping down from the team. In his stead will be their substitute mid laner, Alex Ich. We saw Alex play for 1 week in the Challenger Series. It was actually pretty good for them overall. So I want to ask someone who knows a bit more about Alex. So QuickShot, you've seen Alex play for a lot of his career. What do you think about him?
I don't know, dude. Alex Sich has not been as dominant as he used to be, and he actually failed to qualify for the European LCS with Ninjas in Pajamas not too long ago. So we'll need to see whether or not he can up his ante and actually deliver in the North American Challenger. But, you know, we'll see. Time will tell.
And those matches will begin with the European Summer Promotion Tournament on Saturday at 5 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Central European Summer Time.
And that will be followed on Sunday by the North American Promo Tournament, which kicks off at 10 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central European Summer Time.
So QuickShot, thank you for joining us once again, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure. And just one more thing. Sheepy will actually be joining us on the European broadcast to help break down both the LCS teams and the Challenger teams. So make sure you tune in for that.
So you definitely don't want to miss it. Going back to his roots there. Now, let's head back over to Riv and Jat for some big plays.
Thanks, guys. And with 4 spots in the LCS available playoffs continuing around the world, we can expect some big plays coming from those matches.
Yeah, just like the 5 plays we're about to see, maybe, Riv, or as Fnatic can almost call it, the Penta.
That is right. Storming in at number 5, PYL and GodV shocked us with their electric combo.
Here, Rocket jumps aggressively as the command protect is there. PYL, oh my goodness, a 3-man shockwave. And LGD, they're turning it around. Wild Growth onto Cool, looking to see whether it can keep him alive. He just held it for so long, waited for, in the end, PYL to go back in with the cannon ultimate, lock everyone up, layered the CC perfectly, and deleted nearly 3 members.
At number 4, Bjergsen spots a tasty ninja. Nom, nom, nom.
Especially without having super hard crowd control here. On the side of Cloud9. Hello. Oh, my word!
Whoa.
I was going to say he's getting dinner, but that would look like an appetizer.
At number 3, Kiki's got a party started when he stole the Baron.
Let's see what they can do. Kikis does not have flash available. Piercing arrow goes out. Raynova and Huni are going low. Hillesang got Glacial Fisher. Baron is going down. Who gets the kill? It goes to Kikis! The Unicorns of Love prove that they are magical. They claw back the deficit. And with Baron Golden killed, they are now once again in the lead.
Baron started. The ward spotted them, so Unicorns will be here to fight. Kikis at first throws in his ulti, and then he just body slams over, smites on 572 HP, gets it. They win the fight because Fnatic is already low and stuck in a Baron pit.
And at number 2, the Keyed Stars felt Yang's rage as he landed a 5-man ultimate.
Agora, amigo, o Yang brilhou como nunca. 5 jogadores do teammate.
And charging in headfirst for number 1 was Meteos' 5-man Sejuani ult.
Coming into this, can they get her on the choppers without hitting? Righteous Glory doesn't really get him there. Meteos with a 5-man Sejuani ultimate. If TSM can make it through this, they got it. But Cloud9 is locking them down. Bjergsen on the outside, he gets swapped in with the position reverser. How is TSM still alive in this one? They are doing everything they can, but Cloud9 closes the door on that fight.
A 5-man Sejuani ultimate. Have you ever seen a better Sejuani ultimate in competitive play?
Nope, I hadn't. That's why I said, have you ever seen a 5-man? Honestly, that number 2 play was amazing as well. Really
that was
close
an
battle
intense
for number
gnarl.
1 play.
Amazing, definitely, yeah, right? Number 1, number 2, it's hard to choose. And with so many games happening over the next week, we would love to harness the power of your eyeballs.
Yes, wherever you see a jaw-dropping play, send it to us at LOL Esports along with the hashtag #ThePenta, and then we can add it to the mix.
That's right. And a special note for your calendars, we won't have an episode of PTL next week. I know, tissues as well, as we get ready for all of the upcoming action. But you can join us on April 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central European Summer Time for a Prime Time League AMA on Reddit. Join myself, Jat, Freak, Shocks, QuickShot, and QuickFicio as we answer your questions about PTL and the Midseason Invitational.
Yes, and PTL will also return on May 6th. That will be a special mid-season edition that will feature highlights from the Korean and Chinese finals, a big preview of MSI, and will also reveal the winners that you choose for those Primetime League Awards. So TLDR Ask Us Anything next Wednesday, April 29th, and then rejoin PTL on May 6th.
Which makes it almost anything. This is going to be scary.
A lot of dates.
And with that, it's time to saddle up and leave the studio behind as we conclude another episode of Primetime League.
Now, we got to hold the horses for just a second, though, Riv, because there was a touching moment in the European LCS, if you can remember. It reminds us that when it comes to League of Legends, love is always in the air and in our affectionate last hit.
thank you very much, guys. We want to get a little closer personal on this one, so we did.
For a Dragon, you'd always give the advantage to the other mid lane turret, as some people are having some fun in the crowd.
Yeah, apparently. I would have liked a ping or two more from Unicorns of Love. They have to go for it. Trevor, kiss me.